Yo, what's poppin', guys and girls? Welcome back to the Vegapreneur Podcast, the podcast for vegan entrepreneurs just like yourself who want to change the world, build a mass movement around what they believe in. I'm your host, Oz, and today's episode features Prose Hair, a custom hair care company looking to bring hair care back to the roots of beauty, where everything is personalized. And as you know, the dilemma in the makeup industry is that mass production is a norm. Chemicals that we don't want or need is also a norm, and oftentimes unethical and unsustainable sourcing of ingredients quite omnipresent, and they're just trying to make this obsolete because, again, as you know, consumers are becoming more and more aware of where the products are sourced, how they're made, and what's inside of them. And they're just absolutely such a grounded and transparent company. I think they're the future of the hair care industry. Again, this is not sponsored in any way by them. I'm just speaking from my heart and what I believe companies should tend towards, and I just love their example. If you sit down with a stylist or even hop on an online consultation, there are over 50 billion possible outcomes for your specific hair product. So you literally sit down with a stylist and they're going to make a custom hair care solution for yourself, really trying to integrate it into your habit and your routine to make it as effortless as possible. No more cookie cutter hair products. If you want to check them out, go to prosehair.com. They have options to make it vegan, gluten-free, silicone-free, fragrance-free, always free of GMO, phthalates, that's a weird word for me, sulfates, mineral oils, and more importantly, transparency, honesty, and integrity. And I just love what they're doing at Prose Hair. If you want to check them out, like I said, prosehair.com. If you want to join the Vegapreneur Dollar Club, make sure that you go to vegapreneur.com to sign up for the beta group, where you'll get lifetime free access to one-on-one mentoring and daily coaching from the top vegan entrepreneurs. Without further ado, you know where to find me on Instagram at Vegapreneur. Enjoy this episode with Prose Hair. More specifically with Pud Michaud, who is one of the co-founders of Prose. Takes an average 18 million words to create a brand, and I feel like it takes a lot of time, energy, and intangible assets that not money can necessarily bring to the table. And so are you able to take us back to like day one, way back, when you either had a conversation or that initial spark that got you to start Prose Hair?
We found this beautiful idea of customization and like applying this to beauty and applying this to hair, which is actually like nothing really that new. Because if you think about the roots of beauty, it's what it used to be, which was like this one-on-one conversation with a specialist that would be able to create a product just for you. And mass production, the fact that we needed to offer beauty to more and more people to make it more affordable, really put us apart from the origin of beauty and how it makes sense in its best way. So the idea, of course, was like coming back to this for the hair care industry, trying to come up with something that makes sense with products that are actually going to be able to cover all your needs, all your desires, all your preferences, without any compromise, and without like being, just in front of a shelf of products and being like, oh my gosh, I want to buy this shampoo, this one, but also this one because I want to have like something for my hair that should be shiny, something for my dandruff, something for my scalp. So yeah, we just decided to come back to this origin of beauty with technology, with making this at scale.
And like, I feel when anytime you're creating kind of a platform business where you're bringing two people together, like for example, hairdressers and actual clients, I feel there's always an issue where you have to like bring two synergistically in real time for this to work. So did you experience any troubles when you got started, or what were, for example, the first steps you took before actually like incorporating and all the logistics, for example?
Sure. I mean, network effects are in a way like something that is incredibly powerful for companies and that really create a lot of value, which is this what you've been describing, like kind of a double-sided market. We need to be on both ends in order to make your product appealing. We took like another direction with Prose, which was like, all right, there is something to build with the professional. There is something to reinvent in the hair salon industry. They need real professional products, something that you won't be able to find in a store. We want to rely on the expertise of a professional in order to do a consultation, in order to make sure that we can create the perfect product. So while we were like thinking about all that, we were also, all right, we need to be at scale since day one. How can we technologically implement this online also for anyone just to be able to go to our website and to be able to find our products. So this is why we build direct to consumer on our website in one end that doesn't require any network effort like per se, and like give us some time to really explore how to come up with the best product for the professional, how we can really smoothly be part of their daily routine. And we keep on working on this on an everyday basis, and we keep on exploring like new opportunities with stylists every day. And I must say that having a like very great success online on our website helps also to drive conversation with the stylists and to get them on board now.
I love the aspect that you're really trying to make it as effortless as possible for a client, but especially the hairdresser, right? Because they're running a business, they have so many other things to do. And when you integrate so effortlessly, I think it's a win-win for everyone, right?
Yeah, 100%. And like sometimes we think internally of like other businesses that have been built thanks to partnering with someone as a retailer or as a salesperson for your company. And like since day one, we were like, okay, multi-level marketing is not what we want to do. That doesn't sound like something that is really enjoyable for no one.
Right.
It's not a sustainable way to do some business. And at the end of the day, there is like the salesperson is always the one that is like being put in turbo condition with a lot of stock and a lot of products to sell. For us, there was never a possibility, never an option, just also because we don't have any products on the shelf. Like we do everything fresh, everything is just shipped to your door. And it's really like the way we want to like do things. So basically the Tupperware marketing ways of selling is not our way to do that. We don't rely on someone that is 100% dedicated to Prose to sell our product. Hairstylist, his day is really to do cuts, to deliver a service. He or she needs to have other opportunities to grow their business, like everyone. And retail is one. So we just need to find the best way for them to do it without feeling that they're like selling a product, without feeling they're like pushing your client to buy something. And this is why we really see ourselves as a service more than just shampoo or conditioner or a mask.
I absolutely love that because I personally had my try at, for example, Herbalife. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I just didn't enjoy the experience. I know a lot of people don't enjoy it because you're locked into one specific product. And I feel that flexibility that you give to hairdressers and business owners in that space is like absolutely tremendously valuable for them. And was there any other like value proposition really putting yourself in the consumer's mind? Like, how did the people that decided to go with Prose evolve afterwards? Did you see, like, for example, people would say a 500x times of their sales? What were the results afterwards once they joined Prose?
For the stylist, you mean?
Yeah, for example.
Well, I think that like as every business, like we're 1 year old. We not even actually. We're trying to grow this business in a sustainable way, and what you want to make sure is that you really like create a product that people will enjoy to use and to work with on a daily basis. So when it comes from the stylist, our idea right now is like trying to find the best one that will help to build this brand together and like really be part of their daily routine. So the main satisfaction that we see and that we have is just like the feedback that we got on the products when they deliver the experience to the client. The client is like, "Oh my God, it's really tailored for me. Like, I really enjoy like having my stylist helping me going through like buying this product, and I really enjoy the product itself." So this is something key for us. It's something key also when we talk with stylists that say to us, I don't feel like being a salesperson. I'm not trying to reach out to a product that is on my shelf that has been taking the dust for so many months, and like I'm not pushing that in the hands of my clients. I'm just delivering something new to them. So in terms of sales, like we see it growing. We're just cautious with them. We're just cautious with the number of salon and doors that we're opening. We have a tremendous success with our online experience, and this is like I would say there is a little more recipes on how to grow a successful direct-to-consumer brand. It's like I wouldn't say that it's the usual marketing tactics, but like people have done this before. Versus how do we create a new way to do retail for salon and professionals with no product, no inventory on the shelf, and no upfront cost. This is something totally new that we're still like exploring and building.
Right, and I completely agree with that because I feel people are focused on focus on sales, but then it's not necessarily sales that's going to get you business, it's the profit, right? And it's more about being more efficient in your processes so that your profit is higher instead of just growing your sales blindly, right? And I feel that you really got that point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like acquiring customers is definitely key for any company to grow. But like, this is one thing. The other thing is just like, how do you keep them? How
Right.
do you make them return to your products? Are they really enjoying the experience that much and your product that much that they want to buy it every month, basically?
Right.
Um, and this is really key for any entrepreneur that starts his business, which is like, first, okay, how do you acquire them? But how do you make sure at the same time that really you keep them? There's nothing new in this. I mean, any entrepreneur that is interested in building a business has been like reading tons of stuff about it. But when you actually start, it becomes something else. When you actually experience that on a daily basis of like, okay, cool, I have one new customer, you're super happy, you want to celebrate that. But right after, the question is just like, how can I make sure I'm going to keep it? And it
Right.
becomes really tangible when you're in there. And like, and this is why we spend so much time and so much energy on like the R&D part of Prose. We have three chemists based in Paris doing everyday research and development when it comes to our formula. We have machine learning and like very powerful technology in order to make sure that we get the feedback from any customer, that we're able to improve our algorithm, improve our formula, and make sure that like they're really satisfied with what we sell.
Right, good point. And actually going towards like bringing a product to market, right? Because one part of it is product testing, maybe even giving free samples. And how do you turn, say, that customer or that potential customer that already got free samples into an actual paying customer? Like, how do you cross that line saying, hey, I was giving you things for free. Would you like to pay for it now? Is it usually them coming to you, or how do you transition from the launch of like product research development and bring that to market? Is it like influencer marketing? Was it video? What did you guys do?
So actually, it's funny you said so. Like we never give any free products.
Okay,
Uh,
well,
we we do it with few influencers, of course, like micro influencers. They are helpful for the brand that really bring values. But we don't give that many free products away. Reason being is that I mean, we know how to do haircare products. We're built on more than 35 years of experience. When our co-founder Catherine has been doing that basically our whole life, so we know that our products are really, really good. So we rather say, we're going to formulate this just for you. So we can't do really a sample because doing a sample is basically the same thing as creating your product. So let us just create your product, buy it, and what we'll give you is like 100% satisfaction. If you're not happy with it, we jump on the phone, we discuss, we can reformulate that for free for you, or we just reimburse you. And I think that this transparency, this way of like doing e-commerce, which is actually pretty standard nowadays, is also just a good way not to give away that many products. And every product that you give for free is actually a signal that like, I mean, you need to be careful with your brand. You need to be careful with your like brand equity and what you're doing. If you give all your products for free to like a lot of people, like what's the real value of your product? And also,
right.
what's the value of a feedback from someone who is not paying a product? If I give you free haircut tomorrow and you try it and you actually really don't like it, you'll come back to me and be like, yeah, it was okay, but yeah, but that was fine. If you pay for it, like your feedback is going to be really different from that. And I guess that this is part of our value proposition is to make sure that when we have a feedback, we know how to read it and we know how to incorporate that into like something better.
Right. Yeah, that's such a great point. And I think, like you said, it comes back to supply and demand. If you have more supply of your product than demand, it's kind of like goes to dust almost. So, like, how do you, let's say, so how do you not become delusional and make sure that you have a good product that really fits your customer, that you know they're going to stay for a long time because they love it? So, how do you like product research without giving free samples, making sure you have a great product?
Oh, it's an everyday obsession for us.
Hmm.
I guess it starts with customer service, and it starts with seeing your customer as like someone part of your company. So since day one, we really um, made sure that every feedback a customer that they could give us would see as an opportunity to learn something. I think that there is nothing more terrible for a company to think that any request from a customer is something like a burden to carry or something that you have to tackle. We're just super happy to engage the conversation and to learn more. So that's one thing. It's just like making sure you talk with your customer, making sure you're happy to receive their feedback, and making sure you know how to turn this into something that is actionable for you. So in what we do at Prose basically is that we send a standardized feedback form when people have something to say about us. So we know really how to take care of that and how to give feedback to the research and development team in Paris. The other thing is just like every day we do research, every day we improve what we do. There are new ingredients on the market. There are new forms of products that we're exploring, and I must say, like building a great product it's never a one-off. Like once you start something that is working, other people are looking at it, and other people are finding inspiration in what you're doing, and so you need to stay ahead of your game at all time. And that means just like, all right, something is working right now. What is going to be working tomorrow? Maybe it's going to be something completely different. On this, there is like, I think we're all here at Prose. We're passionate about like innovation and like coming up with new things. And the Google philosophy on this, which is like, how do you grow by 10x and not by 10%, is something really incredible to watch and to read. And in really in simple words, it's just like sometimes it's easier to try to rethink what you're offering, try to rethink your products from scratch to improve that from 10 times than just like trying to start with what you have and like doing real fine tunings and like improve that by 10%. But also when you have something that works, just like keep it and improve it.
Right, and it's all about like balance between not being delusional with your product and then still having the courage to start from scratch and then upgrading from that to really 10x it, right? Or is there a caveat?
100%, and that's what we do really like every day with Status. We less on the direct consumer experience, but really with Status, it's just like, all right, maybe an app is the best way for you to deliver the product experience. And actually, it turns out to maybe it's more coming back to something that is a little bit more analog, and like maybe you should just do a consultation with paper and a pen and like give that to your client, and your client goes home and like do it. So we do a lot of testing like that, and coming up with the best experience like is really a question of like how much can you go on the ground, how much can you ship quickly a product, see how it works in the hands of your users, making sure you can learn from that, come back to your office, come up with something new and test it again and again.
What was the feedback you got when you initially launched? Was it like, wow, like I can't believe this is a great product? Or like, what were the specific things they were pointing out from a positioning standpoint?
So, I mean, there are mainly two areas. The first one is like the product itself, like the shampoo, the conditioner, and the mask. And everyone is just blown away by the quality of the
Nice.
product. And I mean, there are obvious reasons for that, which is just the amount of ingredient and like the quality of the ingredient that we put in the formula. At some point, it's just like when you go to a restaurant and you know that the chef is really spending a lot of time coming up with the best ingredients, the most natural one, organic, and like cooking this with like his experience of like 35 years of like being in the kitchen. In a way, it's the same thing when it comes to beauty. Like we try to source our ingredient like the most natural way. We have a lot of experience in like how to put this together and come up with a great formula. So just on the paper, the ingredient that we're using are like that incredible that it makes a difference.
And that's right. Yeah. And that's irrefutable, right? Because you can't contest with the best quality ingredients. Like there's nothing you can do.
I guess so. I mean, it's really like, we're young. I mean, we're almost the only one on the market that is, for example, using hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is super expensive. It has been using in skincare for years now, but not really in hair care. And because it's just so expensive, and when you try to scale your product into a big corporation, you cannot allow yourself to put that into your hair care products. We do it. And it's just like it's a fact. Like it's here and it's working. So other people are going to do that, of course. But this is the reason why also we keep on like researching new things to put in it. But right, like like we just implemented CBD in our products. I guess not everyone is doing that, like putting CBD here and there. But which is incredible is the impact that this has on the scalp if you have like a itchy scalp, for example. We run some tests. We're super happy with it. We put it in production, and because it's really flexible, it takes us like a few months just to put this on the market.
Nice. I love that.
It will require like a few years for another company, big corporation, to be able to do that.
Right.
So to answer to your question, there is like on the product itself, it's really tremendous. On the experience also, the market right now when it comes to hairstylists, it's 60% of them are independent. They're basically, you can see them as freelancers. They're working one day in LA, the other day they're working in New York. They're doing on photo shoots. They're doing like cut at your apartment, at your office, like just name it. These people, could you imagine what we would require them to sell and to retail like usual products?
Right.
They carry like a backpack with like 20 different shampoos in their backpack, try to sell that to you. And also, if you think that most of the time it requires them $4,000 of investment to start retailing products, because this is the opening order that usually you have, there is no way for them to make money out of it. And that's terrible. It's terrible because they cannot grow their business. They're independent. We want to support them. We want to make sure they're successful in what they're trying to do. They're entrepreneur in a way, and we want to support that. And also for the client, because when you go to your hairstylist, or when your hairstylist comes to you, most of the time you want to ask them like, hey, what product should I be using? Because I don't know. Because when I'm just alone in front of like all the products out there, I don't know what to pick, and I'm not happy with my hair. So with Prose, they don't have to pay anything. It's free for them to start to retail. They don't have to carry any products. Everything is like digital. So this is like tremendous for them. It's just like opening new ways to the retail. It's giving them the tools to be able to fight against Amazon, to fight against big corporations out there, to fight against diversion, to really offer to their clients an incredible experience that will make them stand out.
I really love that aspect of like really putting yourself in that vendor's mind and really understanding what they need, because like people go one dimension, but there's so many layers to that, and going as far as, wow, they can't carry that many products, you got to make a digital version. I think that's like really, really going inside the mind. And what can people do to learn more about your business? What can they do to reach out to you, maybe connect with you, and maybe even start selling Prose?
Sure. I mean, we're definitely on every social media that you could imagine. So at Prose on Instagram, our website, proseherb.com. We're just opened a new office in Soho right now. We're super proud of it. I mean, it's like, when you're an entrepreneur and you really move to somewhere that is your home, it's just like, I guess, the first time you're moving by yourself when you're just an adult or a teenager. And we're super happy with this place. So like more than happy to like take a coffee with anyone like coming around, welcome them, show them around. Any stylist that would love to like see what is Prose really when it comes to retail. More than happy to talk and to just grab a coffee.
All right, you know what time it is. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure that you take at least 20 seconds right now to write down any important information that you found valuable, that you want to apply to your day-to-day life, better relationships, better your health, your wealth, your business. And as you know, before you consume any other type of content, I do invite you to take these 20 seconds right now, take a pen and paper if you can afford that, and write down important information.